Hello, welcome everyone to Random DMs. I am this week's Dungeon Master, Wayne, taking over from last week's Dungeon Master, Wayne. And that is the only time I'll refer to myself in the third person because I think it's an arseholish thing to do. But welcome to Random DMs. We're nearly at the end, folks. We're coming up to the big bad in the Lost Mines of Phandelver, that place that we always get the name mixed up of, Phandelver. Here are your players, and without further ado, I'm going to do what I usually do when I'm DMing. I'm going to go straight to Declan to get him to name all the sponsors because I can't remember who they are.
That's fair enough. That's fine. I was busily in the background trying to find codes for things. So I was really hoping you'd buy me like another minute or two. No, that's fine.
I mean, I could try and juggle dice if you want. I don't know.
Yes, that's what people are here for.
How many dice can I fit in my mouth?
Chubby Bunny. Oh. Sponsored by Dakota Irish. No.
Rook and Raven.
And on that note, what a wonderful way to segue into it. So we have some friends of the show that we want to, and we like to kind of shout out every now and again. And as Philippa mentioned, the Rook and the Raven are one of them. And they are makers of some totally cool notebooks for your characters or your campaigns. And they're entirely customizable. If you use the code D8Dungeon at the checkout, you get 15% off your order. We get a portion of those sales, which helps us in terms of looking for equipment and paying artists to do artwork, because, you know, pay your artists, and everything else. So we totally recommend checking them out. And the other one to mention then is Dakota Irish. They are a small little Irish business here in Ireland. That's a thing I just said. We'll just put it there. We totally recommend you check out dakotairish.com. Before I hand it back over to Wayne, I do want to briefly mention our upcoming event. You might have seen, if you're following us on social media, if you are keeping an eye on bits and pieces over there, you would know that we have a TTRPG fundraiser coming up, and D8 Dungeon Drive is into its third year, and this year we are looking to support and raise funds for Trans Lifeline, an organization in the United States that supports the trans community, both with financial and emotional support. And all proceeds raised next weekend are going directly to Trans Lifeline. And there's a link there where you can donate if you are able to. Next weekend, starting on Friday, Friday the 28th, there is an episode of Random DMs, a one-shot. We are running with 5 DMs in costume. And yeah, I'm both nervous and excited because I've designed the one shot, but it's literally 3 acts of here's the beats. That's it. There's no maps. There is a map of the city, but there's no NPCs. There's no nothing. It's entirely up to each DM to kind of plan out what they want it to be, and then as the story unfolds over the course of the 3 hours or so, hopefully weave something coherent together in all of that chaos. And of course, you can donate. Anything from $2 to give guidance, up to $100 if you want to give a DM a break. If you want to let a DM rest and be like, look, you know what, you've DM'd a lot. Declan, you've DM'd a lot. You should take a rest. Here's $100 for charity.
Declan, it's
And
time to take a break.
yeah.
Just chill out.
Just give me
$100 for you to be quiet now.
Yes, yeah, literally. That's the
$100,
cheap.
Declan.
Yeah, that's the cheapest it's been. That's the cheapest it's been.
It's not
So
expensive.
yeah, it's so expensive normally. But again, all the games taking place over the weekend, because there's 4 games on Saturday, there's 4 games on Sunday, and all those games we are looking at just raising awareness for that organization, Trans Lifeline, and funds if possible. The goal is 2,000. If we reach 3,000, Amber and I, the other event coordinator for DH on Drive, are getting matching tattoos that you get to vote on when you donate. You get to put some of your money towards what we get tattooed. And if we make $5,000 in the 2.5 or so days, we will get lower back tattoos. Matching lower back tattoos that I only told my husband about yesterday. But I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, it's terrible, but I'm like, we won't raise the $5,000. Don't worry. I'm so sorry. I was like, I think I might get divorced if we raise $5,000. So I will be active.
But also, really cool tattoo.
Yes.
Divorce,
I mean,
really cool
Love
tattoo.
hurts either way.
It can be a very tasteful.
If done tastefully.
We left it
yes.
up to the internet to pick the tattoo.
It's always a good
Just gonna be
idea to
flicky
leave it
right
up to
there.
the internet.
Yeah, a little flicky the kobold right there is what you're going to want to see. That's it from us. For more information, check us out on social media at D8 Dungeon, and you can learn all about the event and other happenings there. Okay, that's me. I'm done.
Stuff. Thank you, Declan. So where we left off last week was the group had made their way into the Echo Caves. I'm trying to remember the name of this. It definitely is called the Echo Caves, if I'm correct. I'm opening my books here. Yes, it is. The Echo Cave. And they got just inside the entrance. They kind of looked around, found a few bits and bobs, found a dead body of a dwarf, one of the brothers of the other dwarf that sent them here. And they kind of moved down. They found a rope that led down into the actual caverns themselves, into the caves, and they could feel this constant gust of wind and noise emanating throughout the caves as they moved forth. They encountered a couple of different creatures. They found some horrible winged, fleshy bat-like creatures, very much just as they moved inside this area. They found that they were being stalked by an interesting ochre jelly, who then Oster then booted into oblivion. Um, and then following that, making their way kind of as far as they could tell northwards through the caves and the winding tavern caverns, they came upon what looked like a barracks. And within this barracks room, which there were bunks and debris and old blankets and stuff like that laying about the place, uh, corroded iron braziers, like really like rough, dirty area filled with bones as well of what seemed to be dwarves and orcs. The group found 3 ghouls which immediately attacked them, and they dispatched them easily enough. And just as they'd finished dispatching these ghouls and they started to gather themselves once more, they heard from within the caverns, echoing through, this gruff, angry voice decrying the damn mushrooms that are blocking their way. And as that voice echoed off the chambers, that's where we pick up in this week's episode. So you've just heard that kind of gruff, angry voice shouting at mushrooms. And the 3 of you are just kind of dusting off, and the remnants of these ghouls are kind of just laying about this barracks area. What are the group doing at this point?
I think Oster is I think Oster is trying to get a better sort of handle on kind of what's happening, because we like kind of dived in here head first, and there's a little part of him that kind of has lost focus, like the adrenaline, punting that slime, just kicks akimbo everywhere. He's he's kind of in this moment he's kind of it's kind of coming to himself to be like, hang on, this is, you're just getting caught up on the rush of it. You're not thinking like a real adventurer, and a real adventurer doesn't go gung ho into things. So he's kind of trying to center himself. That's what he's doing at the moment.
Okay. Just a point of order, Declan. Just looking at the stream, the map is sideways.
Yeah, it was the same last week as well.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
Okay. I had the map on a different screen.
Yeah.
So just to anyone watching on the stream, when I say north, looking at the map on the stream, it's actually west.
Yeah.
So I'll actually correct myself, and I'll say, looking at the map on the stream, you're going to be going west. And I'll call, if I have to, I'll describe the numbers and the areas as well.
Okay.
So that's on me as the DM. So, the other two, what are the other two doing? Talia?
My
Yeah.
great axe from all of the ghoul blood. I want to prick up my little ears. Did this person? I've got the quote from last time. Mushroom motherfuckers, let me out of this cave. So I'm like, did that sound like a dwarf or more of a scary creature?
Give me
goblin.
give me a kind of a perception check to see.
Perception is 16. 16.
It didn't sound like either a goblin or dwarf. It actually sounded like a from Summer 16. You're kind of picking it out. It's definitely got a bit of baritone in it, but it's not as gruff as a dwarf's voice. There is a bit of, even though it was shouting and calling things motherfuckers, there was a level of hoity-toityness about it. And but like it was a posh bad language, and very much laced with anger and vitriol. It was like an angry outburst. Also with a 16, where you are in the barracks and the echoes through the caves, you're kind of guessing it's actually off to the eastern side of the caverns. So where you're standing in the barracks, it's kind of central. For those looking on the stream, if you look in the center of the map, there is two lines going straight down on the stream. To the right of that, there is a room, rectangular, and it looks like it has little dots in it. That's where the group are right now. And that is the South Barracks that they're looking at. You kind of feel that it's kind of, if we're looking at the stream map, it's upwards and kind of slightly to the right is where that voice came from. That's what you gleaned from that roll.
I relay this to everyone else. It was that way.
Should I? Do you want me to maybe scurry along and see if I can scope it out a little bit? Or we want to move together.
Okay. We haven't made a plan. We've kind of just charged in here. And
yes,
I just think, I mean, we're going against everything I've read about and learned and subscribed to. I just, should we maybe, like, I don't mean the what we know of the Rock Seekers. They don't. He would he really be posh?
But it's probably not him. So, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe I could get a little bit of a
just have a little peek.
I could have a little peek. I can be very sneaky.
Okay.
I don't have to. If you
no. you are really good at doing that, just disappearing and then reappearing. But I feel like we need to be safe and smart and secure.
Okay.
And as he's like as Oster is saying this, he is just pulling yards of rope out of a bag. So I think if we sort of tie this to you, and
That sounds. I understand where you're coming from, and I
And
appreciate
I can
your
just pull you
concern.
back.
But I'm going to. I have a slightly different plan this might give me away, and I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
Deceit is gone.
Oh,
In front of you.
okay,
The rope
nice.
might give me away, darling. This is what I mean by I can be very sneaky.
I and he's just looking at the hand like.
I appreciate your concern for my safety, though. Thank you.
Okay. And he's just coiling it back up.
If I do a little bit of scouting, you maybe perhaps we could see what's any of the other directions here. You could just take a peek out, maybe I don't know, whatever works.
Are there any cool books here?
True, there might be some things here that might help us in this place. There might be some information here. We don't know.
I start like lifting up corners of the barrack beds and like pulling books off the shelves. Just like,
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing really much in this room. Like, the ghouls seem to have ransacked the place, and any kind of remnants or remains of any bodies that are here are just picked clean. It's just bone and rags and dirt, and a couple of the cots and bunk beds are knocked over and kind of in disrepair. And there's a bit of ghoul fecal matter spread around the place. It's not great. It's a bit of a stench, and you kind of get the feeling that this is probably most people, anyone that came down here, avoided this area in particular because there's no disturbance. Doesn't look like anyone else has come through here at any particular point, and it's quite obvious. It's not even need to get you to roll investigation on that. It's quite obvious that the ghouls kind of this was their domain.
well, now we've dispatched them. This is probably very safe in that case. So maybe we should wait here and then deceit wherever you've gone.
Oh, don't worry, I'm still here, and I'm right beside Thalia's ear.
Ah.
It's like, don't worry, I'm right here.
Oh, ASMR.
Look, if I can stay like this for probably the better part of an hour, so I'll be around you guys I'll be here very, very quickly. I'm not going to go far. I won't get into any trouble. I'll try not to anyway. And I think Deceit is doing their best to, like, assuage Oster's fears and nervousness about the
And I
whole
was like,
thing.
have you got a booklet on invisibility, Oster? Maybe you could read that, and then when Deceit gets back, you could tell them all about it.
Yeah, and with that, yeah, Oster is going to, like, the Adventurer's Guide, there was a thing on stealth and being sneaky, but that's in, like, a sort of a secondary subscription service. This is kind of purely on Hero, and he didn't really have the allowance to go looking at, like, the Rogue's Handbook. But there was little supplements.
There's microtransactions.
Oh, they'll get you. They'll get you every which way. But it came with a make your own shiv kit, so like that was the. So who knows? Maybe after this he's gonna be able to afford it.
You could make a Shiv a monk weapon too if you want.
Yeah, see, they're like, it's a win-win. So yeah, I think that's what Oster's gonna do. Like if Deceit is going off to kind of get a better sense of what's happening beyond, then, and if we're just gonna wait, then he's gonna kind of try and steady himself by like making notes and reading.
Deceit is going to move ahead if possible and sneakily try and see who that person is or where the sounds come from.
So if Talia told you what direction he came from, you're actually going to go back in the direction you came.
Oh.
So you go back in the direction you came, and as you go back out, you see again the kind of the T junction that you're at, and there is if you're kind of facing back towards the way you came, to your left, there is a corridor that goes. It's going up on the stream map and going down, and you can kind of see that there's a turn on either side, on either end of the kind of before you get to the end of each of that corridor, there is a
Yeah.
turn that would go left or go right, depending on what way you're going.
Okay.
And then the corridor you came down originally um, goes back off towards where you came down, but then it also cuts off to the left where you didn't explore, and that goes on the map again on the stream. That's going further north towards. If you're looking at the map on the stream, it's going up towards where those blue little pool things are.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, cool.
on the top right hand side, just before the legend of the map
I
there.
see you now.
That's where that if you go further down and go left, that's where it's going to go. It's going to lead you up in that general direction.
Do I have a read on where that sound came from when I make my way out there?
Well, Talia would have told you it came off. It would have come back in the direction you came, but more northwards. If you're looking at the
Okay.
stream map, it's up towards the one of those corridors in those general directions, going upwards.
I'm going to go that way and make my way as sneakily as possible.
How far are you going to go? Are you going to go out the door and immediately go left or right, or are you going to go further back towards the way you came?
I'm gonna go further back towards where we came.
Okay, and then turn up north. Go head north.
Yeah,
Okay.
towards the big cavern thing.
Give me a stealth roll with advantage because you're obviously invisible.
Oh my god, that is a 3 and a 15. The 15 is up to 19, so 19.
Okay, yeah. You
advantage.
definitely make your way through the corridor. You've already been through here, so you kind of know the landscape. You know the kind of terrain, and you come across the bodies of and the dispatched charred remains of those little sturgeons that you dispatched the last time you came through here. And you kind of then hit the corner of this roughly hewn rock where these were like where you came from was like solid and very much dwarven made, drilled out rock. The corridor, as you turn to your left and go up into it, is definitely more natural, and it's kind of like chipped away by time, rather than by dwarven hands. And the rock is jagged and it twists and turns, and it comes out into a strange, because the kind of the scent hits you first of damp, and it's kind of like that earthy scent, and then a bit of decay mixed in with it. And as you come out, there are dense carpets of weird fungi that cover large sections of the floor in this cavern. The growth includes puffballs a foot across, weird shelf fungus that growing out from stalagmites, kind of as they dot the landscape in front of you, and large stalks and caps a good 5 feet tall. Some of the puffballs seem to glow with an eerie green phosphorescence. So they're emanating this glow that seems to illuminate this cave eerily, where the rest of it, any sconces that had torches lit and any dark vision that would have helped along the way, this cave seems to have an eerie feel to it, and that stench of the fungus and these mushrooms and fungi that are in here, as it kind of fills your nostrils, and it's a very musty, earthy smell. And give me a perception check, please.
You're
You're
muted,
muted there, Dahi.
6. Sorry,
6.
terrible.
Yeah, you're kind of taken in by all of this, and you see like the mushrooms seem to like quiver slightly you make your way quietly in, and obviously you're stealthy, and their stealth roll still stands, but you see that there's down again off in the distance and small little puffs of like kind of what look like it's kind of like not pollen or anything, but it's like emanating from these mushrooms, but you can't see any sense of movement.
Yeah, Tassie would absolutely stay away from them, from the mushrooms and stuff, because they're kind of freaky.
Yeah.
I think I don't hear anything either. No.
Not with that roll.
Yeah, no. I was thinking. I'm trying to think. Let me just have a look at something. Watched you. Okay, that doesn't work. I think Deceit is just going to head back,
Okay.
having not seen anything,
Mm-hmm.
and any people, and it's just going to say this is some cavern, and like we can go there if we want to, but I didn't hear anyone there, so he's going to kind of carefully make their way back.
Okay. So Talia and Oster and Osfire is there as well. And he's kind of rummaging around, kind of checking bodies and stuff like that. And he's not doing much, and he's keeping to himself a bit, kind of seemingly inward. What are the two of you doing while the seat is off? Are you doing anything in particular? Or are you just waiting for the seat to return?
Mostly waiting. I'm having a little snack.
Yeah,
Keep the energy up.
I love how relaxed Talia is. It's wonderful. She's just like, I'm having a snack. Okay.
kind of the same, like waiting for deceit, unable to eat because of the smell of, ghoul poop. But is just making notes about the benefits of invisibility and like just tactics, and like must look into this as a possible thing in the future.
The ghoul poop is actually going to be a scent for Guinevere Palto's new candle.
Oh,
There it
ghoul
is.
I was
poop.
going to say, where's Guinevere?
There it is. Goop.
As soon as you said goop, I was like,
Yeah. That's it. Making notes.
Gwyneth.
I have a fabulous idea, Dom. So the seat returns, and you're still invisible as you kind of quietly step in. And you see Talia just sitting there, kind of just cleaning off the great axe, having a bit of a bite to eat, taking some stuff from rations. Osfar is off in one corner, kind of just lifting up rags, checking things. And Oster is then furiously just making notes, stopping and then thinking and then making more notes. As you enter in, and they don't seem to notice you because you're still invisible.
well,
Oh my god!
the seat like quietly kind of laughs themselves. Well, I found a room with lots of mushrooms and things, but I didn't really hear anyone or see anyone in there. But I mean, it was kind of like there was a lot to look at. There was a lot of these big mushrooms. So, like, I could have missed something, but also it just seemed kind of gross. So, it's up to you, really, whether we want to go in as a group. But the mushrooms are really strange. They kind of like poofed out these like spores or something, so they might be dangerous. I don't know. If you have something in your field guide about dangerous mushrooms, maybe there could be something there.
Did you inhale?
Oh no, I stayed well away. They were really gross and kind of tacky and didn't really go with anything I'm wearing. Not that you can see, but
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't this. Was it the same direction as the echo? Because that's what we were following. Were we following that last time? I can't.
So it would have been the same direction as the voice that you heard. That's the direction you gave
But
the
not
seat to
the-
go.
yeah.
But this kind of wave of noise, it's permeating throughout the entire cavern. Like it's definitely
It's kind of coming.
it's kind of hard at this stage. It is hard to tell. It is the further you go in, like even to see like where you were in the barracks and then where you went to see where the mushrooms are. It's kind of the same level, but it is a constant whoosh.
Well, it didn't get any louder where I went or quieter, so I don't really know if it changed or if that's where it was coming from. But that's where you said the voice was coming from, roughly. But I didn't see anyone, so they might have gotten away from the mushrooms, perhaps?
They could also be invisible, or they
could
could be
also
dead.
be mushrooms.
Or I was just about to say maybe they're a fun guy.
It's true. They didn't sound it. They said they were cursing and effing and blinding and all this kind
It
of
sounded
crap.
very rude.
Well,
Truly.
well, to be fair, my nana likes to curse and swear a lot, and she's pretty fun.
And my nan likes to take her wig off when she's drunk.
Oh,
I'm lying, I don't have a nan.
oh,
That's me. I like to take my wig off when
oh! You're the nan. Okay.
Deceit is just like filing their nails invisible now. Like, so are we just going to stand here, or what are we actually doing?
And the
That
rest
is
of you
just
are just
like
seeing
having a bit of
you're
like
just seeing
beef jerky.
nail.
Like.
Dust. Yeah.
You just
see
see
nail
dust
dust.
falling from nothing, and it's just like multicolored like nail coloring, and it's just flaking off into nothingness, out from nothingness, and it's piling high on the ground, and it's like,
Hmm.
But
I
aside,
guess the question.
yeah. No, go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, I guess the question is, we were going this way because we thought it went more into the cave, whereas that's kind of back, but then it also keeps going. So
I think we kind of have the same question we had like a little while ago. It's either very man-made kind of caverns or natural, spooky kind of mushrooms. It's one or the other. that we have to just. I mean, we could do both probably, but where do we want to go first? Where do we think these dwarves might be brought if they were captured and brought somewhere?
Because I think we said last time let's try the man-made because we might find more information.
And we've found a lot of problems, so...
And then, and some ghoul poop. And
I
ghouls.
found, from my experience adventuring, which is, like, out of character, literally the last just couple of sessions, Deceit has no previous experience.
Oster is writing this down hardly. He's literally, okay, like, learning from a professional
Where there's
here.
trouble, that's probably where you'll find what you're looking for.
What you're looking for.
I mean, if adventurers were hired to just go to safe places and pick up a thing, everybody would do it.
That's true.
I mean...
I'm so wise.
But we have found trouble in both directions.
And weren't we paid to pick up a thing and bring it to another place? Originally?
Yes, but we also got accosted by goblins and almost killed. That was dangerous.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. So, do we want to do the mushrooms?
Or the man-made cave?
And Deceit, when you came out of here to go look and find that when you did notice that the immediate left or right were very much more dwarven made.
Yeah.
Kind of tunnels. They were rough. They weren't rough in any way. They were straight sconces on the walls. Like, it looked clean.
You know what? We're right in the middle of this little man-made area. Shall we have a little bit of explore around our surroundings, like these little corridors, and if we find nothing, then we can go to the mushrooms.
That sounds good. Let's keep going.
Yes.
Deeper into the cave. I'm sure it will be fine.
I'll stick
I shove the rest of the beef jerky in my mouth. Great.
I'll stick a little bit ahead for as long as I'm invisible, just to keep an eye out. Just like a couple, just like maybe 10 or 15.
I can feel the wind moving. What are you gesturing? I can't see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing our little things. I was just saying, let's go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So you group up together, Deceit leading the way. How far ahead are you going, Deceit? Are you kind
Just
of
like-
scouting?
Just like 20, 30 feet.
20, 30 feet, okay. And like, obviously they can't see you.
Mhm.
So as you head out the door, the rest of you are also, and Osfer kind of steps forward that I do believe Deceit has left the building and we should maybe head out this way.
Which way did you go, Deceit?
Oh, sorry. Let me. And I just rifle through my bag, and Deceit takes out like a little bag of glitter and just leaves like a little trail.
Snail trail.
I mean,
little Hansel and Gretel
love
glitter
it.
trail, just like a little bit at a time.
you could just take the rope.
That's more obvious.
And the glitter isn't?
I'm saying as I'm like following the glitter. The glitter could be diamonds, you never
It's-
know.
All over you, that like
Deceit
it's
just
that.
comes back to the group. Deceit just comes back to the group and just kind of says, "You know what? You're probably right. Let's just stick together."
Okay. And you notice as you can actually see now, Deceit kind of around Deceit's ankles, even though Deceit is invisible, they have kind of like a smattering of glitter around their ankles because it gets everywhere. As it kind of it gets everywhere. It's kind of like you can just make out the bottom of Deceit's heels and legs, kind of smattering the glitter. And Talia, as you kind of got close to it, even part of it's in your
My
kind of
mane.
whiskers and your mane, and it's just you shake it a bit. It's just like it just seems to get everywhere, and and
It's going to take
It's-
ages to
yeah.
get out.
and Osfire very gently just kind of tries to move out of the way of the glitter, and then kind of the group start to move towards the area. So when you come out, are you going left or right? Which direction are you going, left or right?
I think are we in that room that has like little beds and stuff
Yes.
in it?
Yeah. So
Okay,
there's,
cool.
there's
In the
the
center.
room there that has it's a rectangle room with a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
That's jutting out. You're in that room. You're going to go to the right on the stream map, and then you can either go up or you can go down.
I think if I turn, Deceit will turn right initially and see that like crumbled wall
Yeah.
at this side and just kind of go not that way and then turn and
Okay.
go the other way.
Okay. So again, the group aren't seeing this. So the seat is just
Oh,
taken
I-
upon them. Have you
I
dropped
will kind
invisibility?
of tell people. I'll like
Okay,
tap
okay, cool.
people.
Cool.
I'll tell people like, okay, we're going when we go out the door, I'll be like, that way looks crumbled. I don't like it. Let's go this
Okay.
Okay.
left.
So you watch as the seat's ankles kind of go left and go up, and then take another left turn, and the group begin to follow around. You make your way down a kind of a very hewn corridor, and immediately on the right you see another little kind of area. Just to your right, it's an open door. You can see right into a room, and while there is a lot of destruction around this area, this particular part of it looks like a storage room that has survived intact. Um, but the eastern wall of this chamber seems to have collapsed into a massive rubble. To the north, the door stands ajar, leading to a good-sized storeroom. Dusty kegs are tucked neatly against the walls, all of them cracked and split open from age. So it's like it's a storeroom basically. There's nothing you can see. There's no creatures or anything in here, but it just seems like that's a storeroom that had kegs in it with the contents that have long evaporated. But you kind of stick your head in. There's that dry, stale smell of old beer and ale that is soaked into the stone, and it's kind of mixed with dust and grime. Um, you can move forward a bit, and you kind of come into another section here, and it opens up in front of you. You see this large kind of opened cave that once served seemingly as a banquet room. Steep escarpments is the word that I'm looking at here, whatever that means, divide this large cavern into three sections. High ledges on either end, a lower section in the middle, carved stone stairs climb up the ledges, and two large tables in the middle section, along with a pair of old braziers, a small table that stands on the eastern ledge. Sorry, 1 second. I'm really, really apologize for this. There's somebody knocking at my front door, and I have to go answer it. So apologies to pause. Talk amongst yourselves.
The suspense.
I know. It's like, oh no, what's happening in this room? Oh, the DM's left. Oh no. He's going to come back with a fully built set. That's what it is.
Here's what I made
And a
it.
camera for it and everything with lights. To see sparkly
someone else
ankles
GM.
as a mini.
Yeah, quick. Someone else take over.
Oh, yeah, just dip your mini into, like, some glitter glue.
Yeah. You get a clear mini and then just dip it into like glitter glue.
That'd be so
The
good.
nerve of some people. They don't know I'm DMing a game, for God's sakes.
Live.
How dare.
Clearly, they're not on Twitch.
Clearly.
Clearly. So,
I'll send them the link.
yes. And you see, as you look over, you see a small table that stands on an eastern ledge, and then skeletal remains of a dozen dead warriors, dwarves, gnomes, orcs, and ogres, attest to a fierceness of fighting that took place here, but seemingly a long time ago, because the bodies are long since decayed and kind of sunken in on each other. But they're all a massive bodies around up to a dozen. Everyone, give me a perception check, please.
Sure.
Okie dokie.
Oh my goodness.
8.
8.
Oh,
5.
Wow.
Oh,
we're all
Okay.
very distracted by the glittery ankles.
yes.
I'm
Exactly.
so sorry.
The
Exactly.
glankles.
It's the thing. I've a little bit just there that I'm like, is it gone? I can kind of just see it. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so what are the group doing at this point? You see this in front of you. You don't really see much else.
I guess Deceit would like to kind of skirt the walls a little bit because, like, a lot of we just saw a lot of dead bodies, and that meant we got attacked by bat things, and I didn't like that. So Deceit would like to kind of skirt around the walls and just keep an eye on everyone. And I'm going to tell everybody that, like, I'm just going to skirt the room and keep an eye. I'm going to skirt towards the kind of rock face wall that's on our left as we enter, and just kind of gingerly step around.
Okay, to the left. So you're gonna
I think
Grant, Oster?
Oster is gonna maybe double back a little bit, like just to check out that supply room.
Okay.
And in that, like, just in case there's like anything that we might need, you know, or maybe there's somebody hiding in there. Maybe the other rock seeker. He's not one of those, is he? And he points at the bodies.
Do they look
the bodies?
dead?
Yeah, they've been dead for a while. Even without an investigation check, you can see like they've been here a long time.
Okay.
They are old. Like the armor on them is old and rotted. They're mainly skeletons forms. There's no skin or there's no. It's like they're fully decomposed.
Okay,
It's
so
all
they don't look
skeletons,
like the body
size and shape.
we found. So
No,
they're
they're not fresh.
Okay,
They're not fresh.
yeah. So he's gonna go back just to check that supply room, see if there's anything we
Okay.
can use there.
Talia?
Talia's eyes, one trailing after Oster, the other trying to cover the glitter ankles, like, oh no. I have a thing I haven't tried yet.
Okay.
Magic awareness. I can open my awareness to the presence of concentrated magic until the end of
Okay.
my next turn. I know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover. And I can see what school of magic it is. Kind of like detect magic, but not as good because
Okay.
It only lasts
it's a bit of wild magic. So I'm just kind of like, okay, and sort of like send out I think my whiskers like twitch.
Cute.
In.
Okay. So,
I can do that.
on Ozfire, I actually rolled perception for Ozfire, and he actually rolled quite high. So, Oster, as you're going back, Ozfire kind of moves forward a bit and kind of sniffs the air and sees all the bodies. And to see you kind of move off to the left, Tally, you kind of stretch out, your whiskers twitch, and your ears kind of go up on end, and it's kind of like static electricity as your mane kind of goes up a bit, and you kind of stretch out your feelings. You don't sense any magic in this vicinity, not really magic, but as Ozfire steps forward, he kind of whispers to see. Hold on, don't move any further.
Okay.
Master, soldier horses, stay where you are. I'm getting that same smell of goop in this room that we got in the barracks. I think we need to be cautious here. And he readies himself and takes out his weapon. So, with that piece of information, because I rolled a natural 19 on a perception check for Osfar. What are the group doing at this point after hearing that from Osfar?
I think Deceit's going to draw their rapier and just be at the ready. If anything, like another ghoul or another goop gets up, they're going to strike for it.
Oster, like when Osfire had said, stall your horses, it was a thing where he locked his whole body like mid motion. So he actually like he is kind of like full on like hot. Like he was creeping. He wasn't stealthy. He was trying to be quiet. He was shuffling, but he is standing on one leg, and his hands are kind of just above his head, and he is like, how do I turn this into a ready action attack pose? And he's doing that math in his head, but he has stopped.
Nice. Okay. So
the axe is at the ready.
Grand. All right. So everyone give me a new perception check now following Osfar's warning.
Okay. I'm not going to use my advantage.
10. Wow. Improved by
Oh my
2.
god. Can I roll higher than a 10 naturally? That's 12.
That's 3.
12. Wow. Okay.
Jesus.
So
Bad dice. Bad.
okay, I rolled a natural.
Can you all please perceive something so I can like carry on?
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1 for Osfar, so even my own character's shitting the bed on this one.
God.
Please perceive my
I don't see
content that
anything.
I'm trying to give you.
Okay, now I gotta roll something here.
Chinook artists have said that
Alright.
they're worrying about the repercussions of having a trail of glitter, and I was like, thank you.
Yo,
Yeah.
repercussions? What? I've never faced any of those. Says
It's going to be very helpful. It's like a trail to help us get out of the cave.
And Alisara said that's a
That
classic
started
Declan
halfway
roll.
through.
Yeah, it's only a classic Declan roll when I'm in combat against my players. I'm a player, and I would like to roll better.
Yeah.
You know what? We could crit on all of our next attacks. We don't know.
Who knows? So, who rolled over 10?
Me, 13
Okay,
or
to
12.
see, as you pull the blade out and you kind of start to slowly move forward in your invisible form, you kind of notice out of the corner of your eye, off to your right, off on one of the higher up, and I don't, the names they give them, but there's a higher ledge that kind of has a steps leading up to it, and you see slowly but surely shambling out from behind a rock another ghoul gnawing on a very dry bone. It's frail, skinny, blue-skinned, mottled forms, like. "Ugh." And it rolled really shit on its perception, so it doesn't see you. Although you're invisible, so it has disadvantage, so it doesn't matter. It rolled a 2. You see this as this one of them seems to as it slowly starts to lurch forward.
I would like to put my rapier away, and
Okay.
I'm gonna take out my crossbow because I think I have a crossbow. I do have a crossbow. No, wait, I've forgotten what I have. I do have a crossbow. I'm gonna whip out the crossbow, and I'm just gonna say to the group, "I see one over there," and I'm gonna shoot at it.
Okay. So roll to attack.
Perfect. I get advantage because I'm unseen, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I don't want to waste my advantage. Watch me roll 2 fucking ones now. I'll actually.
Please
die.
don't.
Oh, never mind. I rolled a 14, and what's that? A natural 20.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Hell.
You did crit on
fucking
your
yeah.
next attack.
Yes. Oh my god.
I did.
Say
Yeah.
that for every roll for the rest of the stream from
I
now
will.
on.
I will. I will.
There you go.
What's a
I mean, it's definitely
crossbow's damage?
Okay. No.
I think is it a
That's a
D6? Oh, it's a D8.
Oh, that's a light crossbow. Why isn't it on my weapons? Do I not have it equipped? I probably don't have it equipped.
A crossbow does 1d8 piercing.
Perfect.
Is it a light crossbow that you have? Is it
Huh?
a light crossbow?
I think it's a light crossbow.
Yeah. 1d8 damage. Piercing.
Perfect. I did not equip my light crossbow on D&D Beyond because I'm a really smart player and I know how to play the game and use this thing. So what? That's 8 plus my 1d8 plus 3 because it's a crit. Oh, cool. That's a 2. So 13 in total damage.
13 points of damage. The crossbow. The crossbow comes out. You take it out of your pack and you aim it deftly, and it catches the ghoul right in the neck. It drops the bone that it was gnawing on. It's like, and you see this spurt of like dark green ichor just going out its neck, and it's like, and it stumbles back. Just as it gets hit, then you hear behind it kind of a chorus of our 6 more ghouls rush forward and kind of come up behind its fellow ghoulish brother or sister or whatever, and they're like tattered forms, like rags hanging off their bodies, all holding onto kind of gnarred, twisted bones as they all look around. They look over towards the entrance of the area. They see Talia and they see Oster and Osford. They obviously don't see the seat, and they start to rush. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Perfect.
And I just love the idea of Deceit kind of just standing there with their light crossbow, just going.
Yeah.
It's like it's giving Bayonetta. You know when Bayonetta like is out
Like
of the
running
nun
past.
outfit.
Yes,
It's like
as this small platoon of like ghouls rushes past them, and it's just us left to kind of go help.
I'm gonna burn my initiative on this one, or my
Okay.
advantage on this one.
Yeah, okay. Because so I don't know if we said it on stream, Declan.
No.
There was a donation as part of the drive to give everyone an advantage roll in this. So as
Yes.
part of the D8 drive, because you can donate now. Is the link in the chat, Declan?
It is now.
Yeah. You can donate now if you wish to even influence this game. So donations are live. So Declan has very kindly donated to give everyone an advantage roll in this game at some point. They can use it wherever they want.
Okay.
So I need to roll for the goals.
The Goyles.
The goals.
Sam is for the ghost.
And okay, Osford rolled
Ghouls
garbage
who
too.
eat boys.
Oh, there's an album. There's an album forthcoming.
Girls eat boys like ghouls do. I don't know. That's a Haley Kiyoko. There's so many songs you can
Yeah.
do this.
I think
Ghouls just wanna have fun.
I think I've seen some other people making a similar ghouls joke and finding an extreme number of good ghouls songs. Ghouls are back in town.
California ghouls.
Golden ghouls. Yeah, California ghouls. All of that.
Barbie ghoul.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Ooh.
I
topical.
can't.
Topical. Topic.
Oppenheimer
can't
ghoul.
select
Just throw
the
it in there.
reward.
Just throw it in there. Just throw it in
So I have become Ghoul, the destroyer of worlds.
there.
Oh my god.
13 on Oster's initiative check.
Sorry, yes,
That thing
initiative.
we're
That's
doing.
what we're doing. Yeah, that thing we're
Yes,
doing.
yes,
So
yes.
20, 25 to 20. Anyone?
22.
22. So Deceit is up first. Um,
Slavers.
20 to 15. No, the Ghoul's got 18.
Like,
So
Okay.
15 to 10.
Yeah. 13.
Yeah. 13.
Um,
So Oster.
I just
I
donated
got-
6 quid. I want us all to get a guidance.
Yes.
I got
Cool.
5.
5. So it's I can't remember, Declan, and the rest of the DMs. If we decide, I can't, again, my brain being old and shriveled, trying to remember if we decided on our own characters, did they roll in the initiative? Are they part of it, or do we just
So
let them just do something?
every one of us has done it slightly differently.
Cool.
Yes.
So you can decide if you want to include Osfire in the combat. I've had Oster in combat, but like off to one side, fighting that one person over there.
Or
Cool.
doing his helpful
Yes,
things
he
you did the last
became
time.
like a prop
Yes.
for you all to throw at stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly him.
Sure. I think, yeah, apologies. I think I'll just have Osfire as the healer. Anyone that gets damage, he'll just automatically start to do a spell. He might hold, what he'll do is Osfire will hold a healing action until he needs it
Okay.
for every turn.
Cool.
So, okay. So, and now Talia, you are Paddy last. So that's a, so Deceit, you're up and the ghouls are on deck.
Okay. And you said they haven't seemed to have seen me yet, have they?
They have not seen you because you are invisible.
Excellent.
Um,
I am now
they have-
no longer invisible because I performed
Yeah.
an attack. However, I
Yes.
am going to go and attack that same one that I attacked before. If it's not dead, that one's not dead. No, the one that
It's not that. It is looking injured. It is like this kind of
I'm going to shoot
green,
at it again,
Icarus thing
unseen, with a wee
spurts.
bit of
Sure.
advantage.
like they, even as your visibility dropped, their just perception roll was in the toilet, so they did not see you at all.
Perfect. That's going to be 16 plus.
Yeah, no, that hits. That hits. Their AC is 12.
Yeah, cool. And that's another D8 plus 5. Nice. That is, or not 5 plus 3. That's going to be 7 points of damage to the next one.
Yeah, you the second one, you just basically the bolt flicks out and catches it as it runs, starts to run down the kind of the ledge, down the steps, like shambling. The bolt just catches it straight in the eye and it's
Has
it just drops.
has everybody still got their temporary hit points from before? Because they don't go away.
Yes, still have mine.
They would, yeah. Everyone would still have them, yeah.
Perfect. I'm not gonna recast that then. Instead, I'm going to look over at Thalia, and I'm just gonna like twang the string on my crossbow as I go to like reload it, and it plays a lovely little note, and I wink at you and give you bardic.
Nice. With the guidance that you donated for, is that like anyone can choose that whenever they wish? Is that the way you want to play it? So you just have given people guidance, so that gives them, is it a D10 for guidance?
It's D4.
D4.
D4. I can always try to remember inspiration, guidance, yada yada.
Bardic is D8 now? Or D6?
No, it's D6. It doesn't go to 8 till 5.
Cool. So
Close.
yeah. So what I'll do is I'll allow, whenever you wish to do it, to take your guidance that Dahi very generously donated. You can choose it whenever you want to use it. So if you feel you need to add a bit extra to that roll, you can. You've dropped one of the ghouls, and then the body just tumbles down the remainder of the steps, and the other 5 ghouls start to trip and fall over it. Actually, I'm going to make them all make a dex save because the body fell at their feet as they're kind of like shambling forwards. Yeah, okay, that makes it. That fails. That fails. That makes it. That makes it. So 2 of them trip and fall as the body kind of stumbles at their feet, and they all get into ass over tit, head first, and start to fall down the remainder of the stairs, wrapped up and entangled in the dead body of the ghoul you've just killed. The other 3 push forward and are like kind of rushing the rest of the group. Is there anything else you want to do to see it on your go? You're muted, Dahi.
And I just realized mid-sentence. I think if I can see any like cover to take in the room, I'll do so.
Take cover in the room, yeah?
if there's any cover I can take that's like not directly in their vision, I'll do so.
So as you look down where you're standing, you see that there's the bodies, which kind of are mounded up a bit, and then you have the tables and the kind of debris that are around. So if you want to try and kind of hide yourself in there, you can, yeah.
I'll go with the tables.
The tables.
Yeah.
So you kind of push down and jump. Your movement, so you easily make it. It's only like it's. You'd have to make a bit of a jump. So can you give me an athletics check, please? Actually,
Sure. Can I athletics or acrobatics for?
your choice. Your choice. Yeah.
Cool.
Because you have
I
to
am-
kind of jump a bit to get to where you're going.
I am crap at one. Oh, and I'm not great at that apparently either. Oh, it's at least +5, so that's a 11.
11. Yeah, you have to beat a 10. So you kind of leap and jump, and it's kind of like the rest of you are looking down, you watch, and you see the ghouls are rushing this way, and the seat kind of leaps a bit past them as they're rushing forward, and kind of and then hides themselves behind a table after taking out one of the ghouls. And that all happens in a split second. It's now into the ghouls as the remaining three that are still standing rush forward. The other two have to spend half their movement to get their asses up off the ground. And kind of like their movement is only it's 30 feet, so let me see now. They are coming down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The first tree that did not fall barely get to you as they rush up, and Talia, are you in the doorway?
Yeah, probably like a little way in past the door,
So they
but in front of Oster for sure.
Sure. So they kind of barely get to it, and they are just as one of them just in front of you that manages to reach out and do one bite attack at you. Okay. So that is a 19 to hit. As it kind of like.
Yep.
2d6.
How rude. How rude.
How rude. That is 10 points of piercing damage into you. As again, where the one clamped down on your hand, on your arm previously, it sees the fresh kind of wound, and it sees it's still kind of seeping a bit, and it's like meat, and it just takes a large chunk of bite into your arm.
Ow!
The next one coming up behind it doesn't. It's kind of the corridor slightly blocked because it is only a kind of a 5 feet distance, so it actually can't get into you as that one ghoul. So they're kind of like crawling over the back of their fellow ghoul, and then the other two are picking themselves up and kind of move slowly and shambling towards. That is pretty much the end of the ghoul's go because only one of them can seem to attack you because it's bottlenecked into that area. So it's now into Oster. And Osfar is holding his healing.
So Oster is seeing the one that's kind of attacking Thalia. He's just like he's going to try and kick it with kind of a heavy shove again. So he's just going to go straight for an attack on that.
So the problem here is that Talia's kind of jammed in the doorway. It's a 5 foot. It's like it takes up one space. So Talia's kind of in the doorway, blocking them.
My gains take up too much space.
So
damn those gains.
Too swole.
How tall is the ceiling here?
It's about I'd say it's about another. I think they actually go about 10 feet. It's about another 3 or 4 feet up above Talia that you could probably try and get over if you wanted to.
Yeah. Can I? So what I'm gonna do is. I think he's going to try and kind of bounce off, one like the left wall to the right wall and then over Thalia. And as he's kind of doing it, like kind of diving over into a barrel roll to bring one foot down on top of. If he can't attack the one that's on Thalia, he's going to go for the one kind of next.
What I'll say to you is, if you give me an acrobatics check, check, see how well you do, you could probably swing your foot back and catch the one that's attacking Talia in the back of the head with your heel if you wish.
Yep. Okay.
But it all depends on the acrobatics. Right?
And I'm like holding it like this, so I hopefully
Duck.
the way. Hopefully.
Okay, so that is 15 on the acrobatics check.
That is the AC you have to meet. That's on the button.
Okay.
So fair play. So you kind of like vault up and kind of like slide your way through, and as you slide your way through your leg, you just bring it back in an arc and and it just cracks into the back of this ghoul's head. The heels, and you feel bones kind of break, and you kind of embed your heel into the back of its head. Roll, because I'm gonna give you an automatic because you met the AC. Roll attack, and then actually, yeah, you roll to attack, and then give me the damage.
Okay.
But the AC and these things are pretty low, so.
So that's only a 10 on to hit. Yeah. I have to swap these dice out. They have not rolled above a 10 the entire session.
So
I could
rewind that.
I'll burn my guidance. I have my guidance.
Burn your guidance.
Burn the guidance. Watch now as I roll a 1. Just watch.
Oh.
3. That brings it up to a 13.
That hits. It's an AC of 12. So the
Okay.
heel connects, and you feel it crunch into the back of the head, and it kind of like you see a bit of kind of green ichor as it kind of breaks the skin and the bone, and it just oozes and splatters out, and a tiny bit of grey matter oozes around your ankle. Roll damage.
5 bludgeoning.
5 damage. Cool.
And then I'm going to spend a key point to attack the one kind of directly in front of me. Then.
Cool. Yeah.
Flurry of blows. So I will do that first, just so I tip that off on my sheet, and then
Flurry of flows.
I actually make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action here,
nice.
So I'll like both. So let's. Okay, I'm gonna give these dice one more chance, and then if they don't work, I'm just gonna swap them out. Okay, so that's a 14 on the first one.
That hits. Yeah.
And it's a 17 on the second, so they both hit.
Yeah.
And then. That is 9 damage on the first kick, and 9 damage on the second kick.
So 18 points of damage. You carry the momentum around as your leg comes back around, and you catch the other ghoul that's coming straight at you, kind of reaching out towards you, and you catch it clean in the jaw, and as your boot connects, and you just kind of like, and then follow it up your second leg, so like you're literally Chung-Liing helicopter kick, spinning bad kick, boom, 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 into the side of its jaw. You see the jaw dislocate, and then you feel the second kick knocks it, and this jawbone goes up into its head. Its eye pops out a bit as it takes serious damage. It's like, and the head just careens off the side of the wall as you've done serious, and it kind of like hits it, and then it's all dazed and begins to kind of slide down the wall and catch itself as you hit it for 18 points of damage. It's looking rough with its jaw half embedded in its own head.
I think it's that he's not going to say anything as cool as spinning bird kick, because watch, he's about to take away from that awesome description, and it is that sort of like, it's like kicking a cream cake, and yeah. He's spinning so fast, it's not, yeah, and that's it. That's bonus actions and all my stuff done. So
nice. So that's the end of Oscar. Ozfire's kind of like, whoa. As he kind of stands behind, kind of underneath Talia's legs, looking out at all this transpire as he's holding his healing spell. Now, Talia, it is your go.
Okay. I don't like being bitten, so I'm going to rage. Let's do my little roll for some magic. Ooh, okay. What is this one? A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet must succeed on Constitution saving throw or take some damage. And I can use this as my bonus action. Cool. I'll do it. Why don't we do it at the one that is looking very rough?
Yeah, I mean, both of the ones. Well, actually, no, the one that's looking extremely rough was the one that literally got full on by, and that's in front of Oster. You still have the one hanging onto your arm, who's taken some damage, but not a lot. So yeah,
I'll deal with him in a moment. I'll
do
it towards the one that was kicked. To see if I can finish him off.
Sure.
So I think my Constitution, my saving throw to be is 13, I believe.
Okay.
Constitution.
I rolled the 12. They have a con modifier or a con bonus of +0. So it's literally like you describe what happens here to me. Tell me how you kind of push this out.
I think like the remains of like the magic in her whiskers and things, like kind of like, I don't know, anime style, like sort of like grows and glitters. The glitters like coming down and grows until it's like bah! And yeah, just washes over and darts out, lightning bolt into the ghoul's own chest. I got three radiant damage, and they are blinded until the start of my next turn.
So is it the creature that you strike is blinded?
Yeah.
Well, let's
If
do
they fail
dead.
that constitution.
It's full on dead.
Yay.
Like, cause like it was hanging on by a thread.
Hooray!
Sorry, 3
Great.
points did you say? Yeah. Yeah, no,
Radiant.
bang on. Yeah, bang on. They only had 3 hit
Nice.
points left. So as the lightning bolt kind of arcs out and over Oster's shoulder, it catches the ghoul in the chest. As Oster, you see kind of like a blinding flash of glitter that the glitter just puffs back into your face as you kind of are covered in the glitter as it destroys this ghoul's chest, and the ghoul just slumps, its jaw like, and it's dead on the ground. So
Great.
two of the 6 ghouls have been dispatched.
And now I'm going to deal with the one that was biting me, because that was my bonus action. So now I'm just going to hack at the one that's biting me with my great axe. So... Oh, well, that's not very good. I'm going to use my inspiration to have another go at that, I think.
You also
And
have
I
Bardic
rolled
and a
the
Guidance.
exact same.
You have your bardic and you have your guidance as well.
Okay, well, let's work out if there's any point burning it. It didn't do very well on that. I might do. Yeah, go on. I'll use the bardic. Oh my goodness. Oh no, that does it. Yeah. So I was on 10. I got +2 on my bardic, which is 12, which is what I need.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Wonderful. So that's used up. Put that away. Right. Let's do some damage. Plus that, and then I am raging. Means I get another +2. So that is 12 slashing damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
You bring the axe down.
I'm like trying to chop off into its head.
Yeah,
because it's biting me.
It's like being cautious not to take off your own arm. It's like these little, as you kind of like hack into the head of this ghoul, and the ghoul is like, as the head just starts to get sliced up, large chunks of flesh and bone are popping out of its head. Sorry, how much damage did you do there?
12.
12 points of damage.
Cream cake.
Cream cake.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
And it's like, it's still like one of its eyes are just hanging out of its socket. Part of the face is gone. It's just, and it's just like,
Deceit is behind the table trying not to get sick.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about a cream cake. I'm just like,
it's just barely hanging on, as the body is nearly limp and the arms are just like flailing a bit, but it's barely hanging onto your arm. Very similar to what happened before. Very tasty arm, this.
Oh. And also, I don't want to go out of like range, but I just want to like rotate more into the room so that there's room for like Osvar and Oster to get past more easily.
Cool. Yeah, that's no worries. That's no
That
worries.
we're kind of facing more towards the embankment or whatever.
Yeah, you kind of move slightly. You're well within. Like, there's no danger of moving out of disengaging and getting an opportunity to attack here, because that's literally latched onto you as it's coming with you.
Exactly. I like put it with me, and
Yeah.
I'm just like this
And
way.
as you kind of move, Osfar's left, kind of standing there, his small diminutive form, just kind of in the doorway, kind of looking up, going, "Oh, I reckon you're going to need a bit of a heal." That is the end. Tally, is that the end of your go?
Yes, please.
Yeah. It's back to
Yeah, that's the end of my
Deceit. And then the ghouls are on deck. There's now 4 of them left. One of them severely damaged.
okie dokie, artichoke. So it's kind of the situation where they're all bottlenecked in that area, and we've got Oster on one side, and then Thalia like on the door, kind of.
There's three. The other 3 of the group are in that doorway area. One of the ghouls have been dispatched completely. There's the other 2 that are kind of coming up and are moving towards the rest of them. But it all seems to be gathering in that top end.
Okie dokie. I still have my crossbow, so I'm gonna take a shot at a fresh one with my crossbow.
Okay.
Let's see how we do. That's a 15 plus numbers. Plus 5.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
I don't call it in the industry. Oh my god. That's a 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay, yeah. Oh, it all adds up.
I think... Do I have anything that I can do as a bonus action? I'm really smart and I know how to play D&D, and I didn't take any bonus action spells, I don't think. So, I should have just cast Bane. Ah, well. I think I could use another bardic, but I don't really want to. Everybody seems to be doing well without it. Well, I mean, I say that, Thalia, you literally roll the same thing twice. You rolled a 10 twice. I'm going to hold on then. I'm not going to do anything else for the turn. I'm just going to stay taking pot shots.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. It's now the other ghoul's turn. So the ghoul that's latched onto you, Talia, is gonna basically try and kind of peel its teeth away and then take another bite attack on you.
A re-chomp.
A rechomp. That is 17 to hit. No,
Yes.
it does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Um,
numbers.
And that is 12 points of piercing damage.
At least
But now I am raging, so it's only
yeah,
half.
only half. So
Thank goodness.
as it kind of like just re-chomps and goes, and like you can see the bone in this jaw cracks a bit because of the damage the head has sustained, and the pressure of its own bite seems to actually impact on its own head a bit as it kind of goes a bit lopsided, and the bite doesn't go as deep as you think it does or as you feel it does. The other three, so the one that you attacked the seat is going to turn. You're hiding, aren't you? You're cover. You're in cover. You're muted, Dahi.
Sorry, I keep doing that because the dog keeps barking, and I don't want everybody to hear that constantly because I have to listen to it. You guys don't have to. No, I'm just kind of behind cover. I don't take like a hide action or anything like that because
Okay, so the one that you've attacked kind of turns, is like, and you see like its yellowish, pus-filled eyes kind of turn and catch onto you and start to move over towards your general direction. You're kind of behind the first table area, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. It can make it to you as it kind of starts to scramble over the table and it's going to reach out with a claw attack at you.
Sure.
That is a 12 to hit.
Does not hit me.
Does not hit. As the claws seem to grab onto the table, you manage to duck behind as it just kind of scrapes into the wood. And you hear its darkened, horrible chip nails along the wood as splinters seem to break up into its fingers. It's like, as it tries to reach out and grab you.
Really need to get you a manicure.
With a claw attack for you. That's a natural 20.
I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs.
Silvery Barbs.
Mm-hmm. Use my reaction and cast Silvery Barbs. If that's okay.
Sorry, I lost connectivity there for a second. Apologies. So I guess you cast Silvery Barbs there. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. If I see that, I'm like, not today.
Okay, so
I was saving it in case the one hit me, and I'm really glad I didn't do that.
Okay, so that negates the crit, but it still hits.
It gets to roll again, and it has to take the new
Oh,
one.
it has to roll again. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
It's like forced disadvantage, basically.
Forced disadvantage. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
At least it's not a crit.
At least it's not a crit. I rolled a 16 the second time, and it's +4. So these clawed hands reach out at you, Oster, kind of as the one body slumps to the ground and there's kind of glitter in your face. You see this clawed hand reach out and just grabs at you and kind of claws you across the chest. And it's 2d4. Not as bad as it's bite.
I will give Thalia the advantage from Silvery Barbs as well. So you take it. You basically like give disadvantage to one person. You can give advantage to the person's next attack. So Thalia, you've advantage on your next attack.
Or Rand. That is 6 points of slashing damage into you, Oster, as the claws reach out through the puffy cloud of glitter and just slash you across the chest. And then the last remaining one is going to... sorry, that's a 3. Sorry, there's 4. The last remaining one then is going to also rush up and try and push past its colleague. But at this point, actually, as a reaction, because Ozfire was holding... No, actually, he was holding an action on his turn, so we can't use it this time around. Right, yeah, so it's going to try and reach out again, another claw attack into you, Oster.
Yeah.
And that's going to miss. That's an 8 plus 4. That's 12.
Nope.
Nope. As it tries to reach out and it can't get past its fellow ghoul as the hands just like kind of through the air and it hits nothing. That is the end of the ghoul's go. Oster, it's into you. As far as on deck.
The one that just took a swipe, kind of in that motion, Oster is going to kind of wrap himself around his arm,
Okay.
and just try and bring him down, to like literally to smash him into the ground. Like he's literally going to like just yank him down, and at the same time kind of like knee him in the head.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, roll to attack.
Okay. That is a 12 to hit.
That just hits.
Okay.
That's the AC.
Okay. And then it is 7 bludgeoning damage.
7 bludgeoning damage. Okay, cool.
And he's just gonna take if it's still kicking about. He is.
It is?
Yeah, he's going to. He's just gonna wail on it again for a second hit.
Go for it.
And that's 24 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay.
Did you change dice?
No, they're doing okay. I don't.
Okay.
They heard they were going to get jumped.
Yeah, they were close to it.
To jail.
That's another 8 bludgeoning damage.
8
on
points
it.
damage. Cool.
And then I think what I'm gonna do, because I haven't actually used this, is it's a thing I can do with my open hand technique.
Oh yeah.
It can't take a reaction. Get pushed up to. I think I'm gonna because I'm trying to basically knock it prone at the same time, so it has to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. 3.
Okay, so it failed. The DC was only at 11, so it failed. So it's prone then as well.
Okay, so literally you just grab it by the arm as it swung around, a few blows into the body, kicks, knees, and you just drag it to the ground as it just I see it flailing as it kind of tries to pick itself up as you kind of hold it in place. Is that the end of your go?
Yes, that's me. That's all of Oster.
Cool. Ozfire is going to reach out to Talia and is going to channel some healing into yourself there now. And it's going to cast Healing Word. So cast hit points. A creature your choice you can see within regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. This spell has no effect on other constructs, so 1d4 plus my modifier, which is 2. That is 6 points of healing into you, Talia.
Do you get extra for being a life cleric as well?
I don't think so. Not yet, anyway.
Oh.
Just says 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier is blah, 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 plus 2 is my modifier. But there's nothing about being a life cleric. Maybe, hang on.
Maybe
It's in life domain features. It's like one of their second level thing, I think. Disciple of Life. Hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So 2 plus 1, 3 extra hit points it should be.
So 9. Yeah, I see it there now.
Cool.
Whenever you spell first level higher, restore HP, the creature gains. Yeah,
It's
good looking
so
out, Die.
strong.
Fair play.
It's so strong.
Yeah, good looking out. Good job. So that's 9 points of damage into yourself, or 9 points of healing into yourself.
Inflict wounds.
Whoops, wrong one. I pressed the wrong button.
Ozfire is
So that's the end of Ozfire's go. Talia, it's into you, and then the sea you're on deck.
stunning.
Great. Let's do another attack. This one that's biting me is still biting me?
It is. It's barely hanging on. Its jaw's like starting to crack and crumble a bit.
And you have
it is
advantage on it because it's your next attack.
its head is
Ooh.
barely hanging together. It's looking rough.
Go on then.
The
Let's
thing
do a
about
little
Silver
attack.
Barbs is you have to use the advantage as your next attack save.
Oh, nat 20.
Nice.
Probably going to be overkill, TBH.
Look.
Well, I mean, come on. You're raging. Always overkill.
So that's...
You also have some
goodness.
explosive light to shoot out of your chest. So that is a bonus
Yeah,
action
I
too,
do.
so-
Well, that might go on someone else. So
Yeah, worth. Yeah, the same one. Why not?
plus another 2 because I'm raging. Oh my goodness. 24?
Yeah.
Flipping heck.
Yeah. That's twice its AC. So yeah.
You just
Yeah.
crush it.
You turn the great axe sideways. You bring the flat end of it down on top
Yeah.
of the skull, and it's just like, and the head just caves in on itself, and it's like rotted grey
popping up
matter sprays
oil
out.
or
Cream
something.
cake.
Yeah.
Cream
Just
cake.
full on, like, honestly, it's like getting an eclair and going, and it just,
But it's pus, not cream.
Oh!
yeah.
Oh.
Just think of, you know Halloween when Krispy Kremes do the Halloween donuts and they fill the Frankenstein one with
Oh
green
yeah.
something, and it's just it's like it's like a really big zit just going,
Yeah.
and it just sprays out on either side, and Oster feels a bit of the spray on the back of his
Oh,
neck,
oh.
and there's a bit of a
Girl.
stench.
Excellent.
Ozfire is kind of sheltering underneath your form to get away from it, but then the body just goes limp and just crumples to the
And
ground.
I just go
endlessly.
wipe off
Yeah.
my arm and then turn to the one that's like trying to get over the table towards the seat, I think, and I'll
Yeah.
go with my
The lightning.
lightning. So that's a DC 13 Constitution save.
I rolled. It's got no modifiers. So DC 13, I rolled an 11. So it's got no modifier to its con.
Nice.
So yeah. The lightning crackles out across the room and it kind of echoes
Can you
through
a-
the chamber.
Can you add guidance to damage?
I wish.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
I
checks.
didn't think so.
it's just for I think it's for
But you're the
Saves.
GM, Wayne.
Well, in that case, it's just 1 radiant damage, but it is also blinded until the start of my next turn.
Nice.
the kind of the bright kind of glitter infused lightning bolt streaks across the room and croons into the back of this girl as it crackles up over its body and up into its face, blinding it. And it's like oh, as it's flailing at the air now, and to see this kind of just underneath the table. Okay, so that is now
Haha. And I'll moving wise. We've got the one at the table and then another one on Oster. Is that it?
there's Oster's holding one on the ground, so there was 4 in total left that you've just
Yeah.
killed, so it's now 3.
I just killed one.
So Oster's holding one prone on the ground. There is
On the
one now
sides.
moving up on Oster, and there's one on the seat.
Okay. I'll get ready. I'll like position myself so that like I can start going towards one that's like moving up towards Oster,
Cool.
Sick.
but like
Um,
try not to be in range if possible.
That's okay. No, you're like, because you're having to move kind of around Oster to get to that one that's coming at
Yeah,
Oster,
I'm
while
just-
Oster's holding one.
I mean,
on the ground.
it'll probably try and bite me anyway, but I'll just rotate like more again,
Cool.
like step more into the room to give myself more like space.
Grand.
Okay.
And then that's me.
Excellent. The seat, it's into yourself. Then it's the 3 remaining ghouls. Then it's Oster.
I'm gonna give a wee stab at this ghoul with my rapier.
Yeah.
Come on, don't. Yes, another 15 plus numbers.
Nice.
So, dirty 20.
And it's blinded,
Yeah.
so I don't know if that helps.
I'm literally
sick.
looking up the blind condition now, so I don't think it do. I think it's just that it affects it itself.
Oh, dog's barking. Okay.
Blind. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Damn you.
Yeah, I think it's its own attacks or something.
Yeah. I don't have my, that one time where you always have your DM shield and you never look at the reference. I never do anyway, and it's the one time I need it where actually I know it has that there. And I'm sure the chat is going, well, this is actually how it's meant to happen. The blind creature can't see and automatically fails any ability check that it requires sight. Attack rolls against this creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. You're muted, Dahi.
Yeah, I just realized. I'm gonna roll again for the
Awesome sauce.
advantage. Okay, that was lower, so we won't go with that.
Cool.
And this is going to be a 3 plus 3 is 6 points of piercing damage.
6 points of piercing damage. As you kind of move up and just straight into the kind of the chest area, as the lightning crackles around and it's trying to flail, and you manage to stab deep into it. Sorry, how many damage there? Sorry,
6 total.
6 points of damage. Yep. Okay. And as you kind of pull the rapier out, there's a flick of the green ichor as it kind of seems to start to bleed out of the wound. Thank you, Ben, in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, man, surely.
So yes, is that the end of your go to scenes? Right now, else you want to do?
I only have 2 bardics left, and I don't really feel. I feel like we've got this, so I'm not going to bother using another bardic.
Cool.
I am going to hold my ground.
Grand. So that's the end of the seats go. It's now the ghouls go. That one you're holding on the ground, Oster. Are you physically trying to restrain it, or did you just want to knock it prone?
I just knocked him prone. Yeah.
Grand. It's gonna spend half its movement and start to drag itself back up, and as it does that, it's going to bite at your ankles.
Okay.
And that is probably going to hit. That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, that does awful things to my ankles.
Yeah. And it hits you. Actually, this rolled pretty shit on these dice. That is 5 points of piercing damage as it kind of like latches on to kind of just above the ankle into the calf muscle. It's like, latching in there. And you
quads.
kind of feel the stabbing pain. So that's that ghoul's go. This other ghoul that's moving up on you then sees Talia move in and redirects itself as it sees that its fellow ghoul is biting into your leg and feels that meal is tainted. It's going to go for now the larger piece of meat and sees Talia and rushes forward and is going to do one claw attack, sorry, on you, Talia, because it does not have multi attack. That is probably going to miss. That is a 15.
That hits.
But that hits.
My AC is only 14.
Oof.
So
How's everybody's HP?
I'm on 36
Yeah.
out of 45.
I'm on 27 out of 35, only because you gave me that temp HP.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Talia, that is 9 points of slashing damage into you as it kind of streaks out with its claws, and you just feel these dirty nails cut down across your arm.
I'm raging, so I'm like, not today.
Yeah.
Unbite it. Push it out of rage.
And then we have the blinded thing. So, see.
He's got disadvantage.
Blinded clearly
is
by Deceit's radiant, dazzling
That's exactly it.
persona.
By dazzling beauty. Deceit's absolutely going to be telling themselves that
Yes,
that's what happened.
this is what it was. Yes, yeah.
It's a canon event.
It couldn't look upon me.
Oh, they were just so starstruck.
It kept asking for my autograph.
This
So I
blind
stabbed it in the eye.
the blind ghoul is going to flail out with its arms because it's just flailing, so it's a disadvantage attack. Yeah, it misses completely. Rolled a 3, and it's just like as it does nothing. It is now Oster's go.
With my one leg firmly in the mouth of this ghoul, can Oster? He's gonna like spring off his other foot. And literally, he's gonna literally just leap up and, in a motion, turn his whole body, wrapping his legs around the ghoul's head to snap. He's literally just going to do kind of a full body twist.
Yeah.
I have watched way too many Street Fighter things and imagined Cammy and Chun-Li doing insane things that I'm like, that's the whole reason that I set up random GMs, just so I could basically play those two. Sorry, not sorry.
Give me an acrobatics check to see if you were able to do your whole thing.
That is 23 on the acrobatics check.
Yeah.
And that is a 19 to hit.
Yeah. Twist that neck.
That is 8 bludgeoning damage.
Let me see now. I'm just taking track of my hit points on this motherfucker. This guy has this guy taken damage yet? Yeah.
This is the guy that I knocked prone the
last. Yeah, so 8 points of damage. You literally leap up into the air in one swift motion. And Tally, you see this as Oster just leaps up on one leg. The leg wraps around the head and there's a twisting motion. Mainly, actually, funnily, it seems to be charged by his buttocks as they tense and bulge in the pants. And you just hear this snapping and a popping sound as in midair, the body drops as the head is left wrapped in between the legs of Oster. As he comes down, and the leg is kind of loses its grip on your calf muscle as the jaw goes loose and limp, and the body just drops to the ground. And Oster comes down, and the head just rolls across the floor, and you land, and there's kind of a bite mark in the back of your calf muscle.
He's going to ignore that for the moment, even though it's a fairly deep bite. He's going to ignore it. And bonus action, he is going to just do a lunging kick into the back of the ghoul that's attacking Thalia.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. That's a nat 1. These dice are going to jail. That's it. They're just going to... These are not... Do you know what these are not? These are not Oster's dice. I have them in my tray back there. These are actually Dahlia Wolfram's dice. From Romancing the Dungeon, and I just think I'm just mudding up my characters. That's what that is, because Dahlia also rolled really badly. So it's a nat 1. I'm just trying to procrastinate.
So on a nat 1, I'm going to put a bit of flavor on this one. After coming down with this amazing kind of twist and pop of breaking the head off and landing down, as you go to push yourself off to kind of land the kick into the back of this creature, you accidentally stand on the head and whoop, and you just feel yourself going up and on your back in the air, and you land on the ground with a large thud, and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage or fall damage or whatever.
Got in the goop.
Yeah, and it's just that it's just like a heavy as the wind is completely knocked out of you.
Yeah.
And anyone that sees it goes ooh.
Yeah.
Just-
Even
it
the
doesn't-
ghouls are like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone just stops and goes, It wasn't graceful, it wasn't
No.
pretty, and it looked like it hurt.
She is beauty. She is
so
grace. She's landed on her face.
That is the end of Oster's go. Ozfire just goes, damn. And
Why are you gonna burn me like that?
and reaches out to kind of just like tentatively and just casts healing word on Ozfire, and we will go with the digital dice for this one. Okay, you got the full. You got including the digital dice include the life thing.
Okay.
So it's 9 points of damage into yourself.
Nice. Okay, but he will not get over the psychic pain of the damn. That's echoing right now. Yeah, 100%. Like in the current time, like as this is being described, Oster like has just gone red in the face again from like, oh, I thought we'd forgotten about that. And then we're back in the room with the ghouls.
Yeah, jeez. It's crazy stuff. Sorry, I got sidetracked in my brain. As I said, emotional damage, I remember the news this week that guy who actually does that meme, turns out that actor's actually Irish. The guy who does this, his name is it's Stephen O or something.
Yes, Uncle Roger.
But he's actually... No, Uncle Roger. It's a different Asian guy that does it. So Uncle Roger, I think, co-opted it or something like that. But there's actually a guy, an actor, who's like when he's sitting at the table with a blazer on, and he goes, emotional damage. The actual guy who does that, that's a put-on voice. He's actually an Irish lad. There was a video that came out during the week, and he's talking to an American actress, and he's just like, "All right, what's the story?" So yeah, there you go. Bit of pointless trivia for you.
Yeah.
Back in the room. That is the end of Ozfire's go. Talia, it's into yourself, and Deceit, you're on deck. We're nearly at the end of this now, folks.
Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I will swing with my great axe.
Slash
Oh my
cat.
goodness.
Yeah.
Slash cat. Yeah, well, he was trying to attack something, so I was just stopping him. That was another natural 20.
Oh my god. Keep that dice.
Thank you.
Keep
Yeah.
that dice.
May I trade?
Yeah, let's swap.
Dahlia,
Straight-
Thalia,
Yeah.
same thing, right?
Watch me get like one the rest of the session though. Like, okay, so that is. That's not a very good roll. So, where's my calculator? That was rubbish. That was only 2 plus my normal damage plus 2, 10.
10 points of damage.
What's your dice size for the damage?
D12. So I did not roll very well.
Okay. 10 points of damage into this guy. No, it does hurt. You can bring the blade around, and it's just like, and it just jams itself into its chest, and you kind of go to pull it out, and it's like, as the rib cage kind of caves in a bit, and you like, and there's that arc of Irish gore as you pull the blade out, and it's like a sucking wound. It's like, oh.
What are you planning, Dahi? What are you thinking?
Have I been doing
thinking I'm
crits
rolling?
wrong?
To be fair, I might be doing it in a different way because it's like
I thought it was you take one full dice size.
So that's
number.
the way that's the way I DM crits. So if you're playing in my streams, I let you do. So if you roll your damage die as a D10, you do 10 damage, and you roll normally. That's just like my way of doing it. But every DM is
how I normally
Philippa,
do
what
it
were you
is
doing?
I roll and then I do double of the roll. So I rolled 2, so I got 4 plus my 4 plus 2, so 10.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have clarified that. I didn't even think to clarify that, but I do it the way Philippa does.
As long as you do it consistently,
cool.
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's just. But no, that's
Random
cool.
DMs.
You should hear about my rules on potions.
Yeah, my ruling about rolls are very very lax. It's just I don't really Anyway, so
so 10 slashing.
yeah, so like this ghoul nearly suffers a full-on asthma attack as its lungs collapse inside its body following this massive impactful blow from the great axe, and you pull it out and there's like a huge gaping wound in its chest. And it's like... That is the end of Tally's go. It's now
Well,
Deceit.
is it dead?
Oh, it's not dead. Sorry, it's not dead.
Great. More lightning
Oh yeah, excellent.
Is it dead?
into
No.
that wound.
Lightning.
Great. Lightning time DC 13 Constitution save, please.
I'm rolling shit on these con saves. That's a 5, so no.
6.
3 more radiant damage,
more
and now
radiant
it's
damage.
blind.
Okay, you pull the axe out and kind of rear up, the explosion of glitter lightning catches it straight in the wound, and it crackles up over the rib cage and into its face, and you just see its eyes burn over white, and it's like, and it's flailing around the place, kind of crazed and
It's got
gargling.
glitter in its eyes.
Yeah, full on. Like it's like a Florence and the Machine makeup. It's just eyes, it's full of glitter, and it's just flailing backwards, looking marvelous. Is that the end of your go? Excellent.
Yes.
To see that's now into yourself, and the remaining ghouls are on deck.
The one that I'm fighting, is it
Yes.
still blind? Or
I
is
was
it
actually
the end of the round, Philippa.
No, it's the start of my turn.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
that one's no longer blind.
Well, I'm gonna go give it a stabby stab, because why not?
Okay.
That's what I do right now. Oh, that's a 9 plus 5 is 14.
that hits.
Yeah, we love not missing. It's my favorite.
These things are squishy.
Perfect. And that is going to be 2 plus 3 is 5 points of stabby damage.
Okay, again, you bring the kind of the rapier up, and it's very much like right next to where you punctured it before. And as you do it, it comes back to its senses. You see that the eyes that were glazed over white come clear, and it refocuses itself as the blade is sticking in its chest. It's just like, and it starts to reach towards you. Is there anything else you want to do? No.
I'll do it again, but no.
It's all good. Just as you do that, and it comes like it's now the ghoul's turn, and just as the blade kind of goes in and its eyes come back into focus and it sees you, it reaches out with its 2 hands and goes to give you a claw attack. I think I froze there for a second. My internet is garbage tonight for some reason. Okay, so it's going to reach out its claws and slash at you. And that will probably miss. That is 9 plus 2. Sorry, plus 4. 9 plus 4 is 12 to hit.
It's 13, I think. 9 plus 4.
9 plus 4 is 13. Thank you for the maths.
It still misses.
It still misses as it kind of swipes out and misses as you kind of pull the blade back, and it's like, oh. Trying to think, actually, we're down to 2 ghouls because you killed one with the head, and then there's one left with Talia. So the one that's left with Talia, it's barely holding itself together, fully blinded, glitter eyes, big sucking wound in its chest, tries to swipe out at you blindly, Talia, with its claws at disadvantage.
Stunning.
Yeah, that's a 2 and that's a 6. So it misses as it flails out towards you. I think there is only
That
2 of these guys.
blind thing is nuts.
Oster, it's now into
I
your.
know, it's cool.
Oster is brushing off the embarrassment. He is going
Yeah.
to crotch kick. He's just going to full on, like, just the one for that. He's going right in under.
Yeah.
just,
Go for
and
the
that
punt.
that is a 13 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 6 bludgeoning damage.
6 bludgeoning damage. Okay. You bring your foot up as this ghoul is flailing around blindly, and the foot connects, and you feel a crunch. And it kind of, as it hits and the crunch hits, it just moves it further in as the pelvis kind of breaks and cracks a bit. And it's like, and you kind of lift the ghoul up off the ground a bit. And it comes back down and then loses its footing as it kind of, the middle part of like the wishbone, its legs start to split. And it's like, it's barely holding together.
Okay.
It's like shred of life.
Bonus action then, he's just going to kind of sweep the leg from underneath it.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
Nice.
So
give us some flourish here, Declan. Tell us
Fo-
you're going to
yeah, I
end it.
told
It's
you we'd all
hanging
crit.
on by a thread.
I told you
so-
we'd all crit.
yeah,
Yeah.
you did. Just following your crit rule. It's I rolled a 3, doubled 6 plus 4, so it's 10 damage.
Definitely dead.
It's a thing of as he sees this thing, the ghoul come back down and kind of like flop into itself, like kind of like seeing that it's not as sturdy. Oster kind of just drops straight down, like literally, like just lets the legs out go underneath from him, and just sweeps the legs straight out. And as the ghoul comes down, Oster comes up and up onto his hands, and then falls with the flats of his feet onto the ghoul's head to like splat the brains.
Lovely. And again, it's like that pimple popping motion. This is as
Cream
this
cake.
this
Cream cake.
yeah, full on cream cake destroyed. Like you're fully stamping on what looks like a Black Forest gatto at this stage because it's burnt and crisp and dirt and it's just
Love a Black Forest gatto.
yeah. Cherries everywhere, and you kind of like stomp it.
Oh, we made so many different desserts so disgusting.
Honestly, as somebody who's not I'm not like the biggest into gore, the food references are helping so much because I'm just imagining people beat the shit out of food, and that's hilarious.
See, I'm lactose intolerant,
cherries.
so my actual guts are going, oh no, the dairy, ugh. But there's a part of me going, at least it's not pus. So, you know.
Yeah. So that leaves just one ghoul left standing as it kind of clambers over the table towards the seat. That is the end of Oster's go. Osfire is still like, and now it's into Talia. As the ghoul in front of you has been completely dispatched, and you have that one that's kind of it's across the ways a bit. It's about 25 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20 feet from you, from where you're standing.
That's okay. I shall charge towards it. Great axe. Hopefully. Oh no! I told you this would happen. I got a natural 1 this time.
So
never mind.
just like Oster's natural 1, there's going to be some flavor on this as you kind of rush forward.
On some goop.
Yeah, and there's Black Forest gatto everywhere. As you kind of raise your axe up, you kind of slip as you kind of like run on the spot, but then slide at the same time. And you travel the 20 feet, but you careen into the table. Roll me a strength saving throw, please.
I love that you're careening right towards me.
You're muted there, Philippa.
That's good because you just saw me fail at maths. 25.
25. You manage. You slide and you catch yourself, and you feel your great axe about to lose. You lose your grip, and your grip tightens, and you kind of brace yourself against the table, and you're right at the feet of this creature, and the axe sweeps out and just misses completely, and you feel it embedding itself into the table, and the creature just kind of like as it turns and looks around at you.
Never mind. Lightning.
Burst of lightning.
We're now adding that to the semaphore for lightning. 13. That is lightning.
DC 13. I rolled higher enough on that, but I rolled 12, so it's a 12, so it still gets it.
Yes, fails. Oh, nice. 5
radiant damage. You kind of slide into it, and it's like. And it's at close range, the energy arcs up and catches it, and you see it burn into the side of this creature as it gouges into like a burnt flesh, and the radiant energy crackles over its body, and again its eyes burn milky white, and it's like, and it kind of stumbles a bit together. It's in bits.
Get it, deceit. I say from laying down behind the table.
Well, thank you. Right, I'm gonna stab it again because why not? That is an 18 plus numbers.
Yeah.
It is Bleeding Dead. I'm going to use a different dice because I haven't rolled over... On my D8, I haven't rolled over a 3 on that other dice.
Okay.
Oh! And that is a total of 11 points of damage.
How do you...
I rolled an 8.
Yeah, give me the description. How do you take this down?
So I think seeing the cream cake, seeing the bakery, the like bull through a bakery going on there, just did not like the idea of getting any of this confectionery all over themselves. As soon as they're blinded, Deceit takes a second, gets back, and like runs through with their rapier and hits them like right in the head, and then pulls it back and flicks off any of the matter, trying very much not to get it on their clothes.
Yeah, it's a full-on surgical strike as you just go in for the one last remaining eyeball because the other one's been burnt up the side with the lightning, and it's just like, and you feel it pop first under the blade as it just goes in, and then you flick it out, and the eyeball comes with it, and you just flick it off the other end, and it just flies off against the wall, and then the body's like, and it twitches, and then boom, drops on the table next to where Talia is. as all of the ghouls have now been dispatched.
Well, round of applause.
Yeah.
And as you all look around and survey the chaos and the complete haberdashery that has been destroyed of this whole area, we're going to go to break. Because it's now 1:45. It's 1:45. Jesus.
Whoa.
1:45. Whoa, that was some fight.
Taking that long?
I need to go get some food after
Okay.
eating all that cake stuff. But yes, be back here in what is it, 5 minutes?
5 minutes. 5 minutes. Or so.
5 minutes or so for the next part of this adventure. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Random DMs. We have just finished our break, and we've all.
Declan is muted because I paid him €100. No, I'm kidding.
I'm telling you, the scramble. I like producing and DMing is just. And I know I'm not DMing. I'm playing. But like it's the oh god, what am I doing? I'm useless at this. Why am I responsible for this? So yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So we're gonna jump straight back into it because we need to get into it and enjoy ourselves. So the group, you find the dust is starting to settle in this kind of open area where it's now it's freshly caked with bodies.
Hey.
Um, as it joins now the remains of the skeletons that were already there. Clearly, the foodstuffs of these ghouls that they had feasted upon many moons ago. But their bodies now lay strewn around this room. As you look around, and there seems to be very little here. There's just kind of like the debris, the bodies, tables, a few overturned areas, rock, dust is settled. And again, over in the corner, you see a pile. Nearly you're taken in the room, you see a pile of old dry bones that the ghouls would have been gnawing on before they came into this area to notice where you were. So, what are the group doing at this point? Is there anything you in particular you want to do?
Let me see. I think if we are taking a short rest or anything, I think Deceit would like to play a song of rest if we decide to do that, to give everybody a little bit of help. That's if we decide to do that as a group. If not, Deceit would like to just look around the place and see if there's anything worthwhile here.
You can do both. If the group want to take a short rest, you can and recoup any kind of spell slots or anything that's been taken up. And then you can do a bit of an investigation while you're doing that. So yeah, by all means, is that what the group want to do?
Find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Find an area not strewn in goop.
Goblin ghoul goop. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe on top of the table.
Cool.
And have
Okay.
a little-
You kind of clear a space near the tables where there's no bodies or any remains or anything like that, and it's free of cake. And you have a space where you kind of settle yourselves. Bedrolls are rolled out. You kind of relax, and rations are passed out amongst the group. And as you're kind of trying to calm down a bit, relax a bit, you find yourself just wandering, kind of taking in the area. Give me an investigation check, please.
Sure, absolutely. And since I haven't used it yet, I'm going to use my guidance, despite the fact that I got a pretty high roll. That's going to be 22.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now that your mind is a bit calmer and you're a bit more settled and there's no distractions of ghouls and creatures trying to attack you, you start to take in this room a bit more. And you see that it very much kind of seems to surface, or sorry, it seems to have been at one point the kind of like a feast area or a congregation area where people came to meet, and they would have maybe, like you can see from the remnants of tableware and the odd goblet or plate. You see a weirdly bent fork off in one corner. The remnants of what might have been decayed food at some point that's now gone way moldy, way past its best days of eating. And you kind of say, right, well, this was an important room, but has been completely ransacked, and these ghouls have turned it into their den. And you do notice then in far corners there's more goop. It's just there because this is where they lived, where these ghouls lived, and seem to have lived here for quite a long time. With that higher roll, you can tell that the ghouls are probably the only denizens that have really inhabited this area. There's no one else has passed through here. You seem to have very much disturbed their place, similar to the ghouls that you met in the bunk room, the barracks previously. So you're moving through this area, and you definitely are the first group to move through this area in quite some time. As you are coming, you kind of move up onto a ledge. It's the ledge that they came down from. You kind of go up to investigate to see if there's anything there. Again, with that high roll, and you notice then off to as you come up the steps, you look to your left and you see there's an exit out leading to another section. And in that section then, you kind of hear a large rumbling. And that similar rumbling that you would have heard, Mott. Gotcha. Sorry, I got it there. There was a moth and I had to kill it. Anyway, yeah, so since you are focused now more. That noise, that loud thrumming noise, is louder, and it's starting to push in. And as you come up to the top of these steps and you look to your left, you feel that gust of wind pushing harder through this area, and it starts to kind of roll up around you. And you definitely feel that there's definitely something down that corridor. You're muted, Dahi.
I was literally going to say to myself, I think I'll be muted. This has really been that whole. Sorry, you're muted. Sorry, you're muted. Everybody has been muted today.
Could everybody turn their cameras on for the Teams call, please?
Guys, this D&D session could have been an email. Okay. So no, I'll head back to the group and I'll participate in the short rest. I'll just kind of take in all that I've taken in and kind of relay everything to the group.
Yeah.
And come back and rest.
And cool.
Soliloquize for my short rest. I'm just gonna do a monologue for everybody.
Oh no.
Deceit just starts monologuing to you all as you rest. They just pull out like a little like note, like a little flip notebook that they're clearly like taking notes in, and they start monologuing the journey you've just gone on, but they've done all of the cool things that you had just done, and like like they'll just be like, and our brave, handsome, dashing tiefling swipes their mighty axe across the ghouls, and like it's complete lies and just making up all the cool stuff you did, but I did it. And that's my song of rest for you guys. So rest nice.
I rest because I've like tuned it out.
Yeah, it's like
it's like white noise. It's like so monotonous and so like annoying that
just like
just
a drone. Like
I can get it out. I can get it.
It only kind of hit Oster about like halfway through that's exactly like up until the Minotaur fell on his ass after doing an amazing like powerful kick. Did it kind of hang? It was like, hang on a second. This is about us. This is just what happened. So it is that thing where Oster is now just kind of politely like looking occasionally to Thalia for help.
I would say everybody make a charisma saving throw for me, please.
Huh?
I've never got to do this.
I rolled it on D&D Beyond
13.
17.
Oof, damn.
13.
And Osfar got 16.
Okay, perfect. Thalia, so because you've listened to me perform for at least a minute, you have become charmed by me, and you are very much a fan of what I'm talking about with my enthralling performance. Sorry, it was a wisdom saving throw. You could have done better on that.
Oh, wisdom.
Yeah, you're
much better. 18.
What is it?
Dirty 20.
What was it, Thalia?
14.
Oh damn it! You just beat it. Okay, so you just you don't notice that the seat is trying to enthrall you with this, but every time I do Song of Rest, I'm going to try to do this. By the way, I'm going to make you a fan.
I think as it's like on the edge, it's like Thalia sort of for a moment finds herself like sort of like lulled along. It's like, wait, no, I did that.
I'm absolutely trying to gaslight you with my stories. Sorry, guys. CW Deceit is gaslighting people into thinking they did all the cool shit.
Hang on.
Like modern day, like Thalia just like slams down her like.
Yeah, and
I knew it wasn't that.
And I think kind of modern day Oster is like, wait a minute. You're called Deceit. And he's
it's a funny little coincidence.
Yes.
That's just clicked for modern day Oster.
Yeah, so everybody can roll an extra d6 with their hit dice when they rest. I do not, because I didn't take any damage.
You know, even though I'm
squishy
technically okay on health, I will roll just to heal anyway.
Roll the d6 anyway; it's free.
Yeah.
I think you have to spend a hit dice.
Yes,
for it,
yeah.
They're also free, kind of.
Automatically by healing. Wait, why did it do what? It didn't do the die result roll for my.
It didn't do it for me though. I just rolled.
That's weird. So what was my thing again? D8 plus 3. Okay, I only need 2, so I don't know why. Okay, I rolled an 8, so I got 11. Great. There we go.
Cool.
Healed. I'm all healed.
I did a short rest, but I don't think I get anything back with short rests. I think it's only at level 5 you get Bardic back at short rests.
I get my key stuff back, so yes.
Yeah, it's handy.
I'm
it's useful.
beefy again. But I am still a little sleepy. I only got 1 rage left in me.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so you take your short rest, and Ozfire kind of starts to pack. After the short rest, he starts to roll up his bedroll and kind of rubbing a bit of sleep from his eyes, because the whole time, eating back and forth, Ozfire had a little bit of a nap, but you didn't notice because Ozfire sleeps with his eyes open.
That might be the scariest thing that you said.
So he's just like sitting there. Yeah, he's just sitting there in the thing. It's just like, and his eyes are just like wide open, just staring at the ground as he's just fast asleep. But then he wakes himself up. He's like, "Oh, well, I suppose we better get moseying home," and starts to roll up his bedroll and then pack everything up and get everything ready. And see, did you say something about going this general direction?
Yes, I did.
Well, let's get rambling. So is everyone gonna? Do you want to all head up in that direction where the seat mentioned, or is that what you want? Okay.
Yes.
Strange noise.
Um.
Wind rattling my mane.
So as you kind of make your way up and go to the left, you kind of go through a long corridor here, and this is dwarven made. It's all hewn out of the rocks. It's kind of rectangular, square. The sconces on the wall, none of them are lit. But you make your way into an area, and it's kind of like it's. You hear again. Everyone, give me a perception check, please. Everyone, give me a perception check.
Sure. That's god awful. It's a 6.
That's a 16.
16.
Ooh.
Muted.
11.
11. So
I was
Oster,
just struggling with maths again.
So Oster, in the distance, you hear this kind of like low, kind of shout of frustration that seems to be echoing off down the chambers far away on the other side of this area that you now step into. As the rest of the group are all taken in by what they see, you kind of are looking up and you hear this echo along the cave walls. It's kind of like, oh, like a frustrating kind of growl and shout. But then your eyes wander down as the rest of the group have taken this in. You see a blast furnace and a mechanical bellows powered by a water wheel that dominates this massive, massive chamber. The furnace is cold and dark. It's not lit, but heaps of coal are piled nearby, along with carts that are full of unrefined ore. The water wheel sits in a 10-foot wide channel cut into the floor of the room, but the channel is completely dry. And you can see that the dirt is like it's been dry for a long time. Passages exit to the west, to the south, and to the east. The empty channel, which was cut into the ground, exits to the north and east. And as you take this room in, more than a dozen withered corpses are scattered around the room. These slain dwarves and orcs are still wearing remnants of their armor. And floating off at the far end of this chamber, and it hasn't seen you yet, you see a large skull engulfed in green flame. Now it hasn't seen you, so it's just floating along, kind of like. What are the group doing?
Oh no.
Ooh, I think Deceit would like to just kind of hide a little bit, like just maybe.
Let's hide behind the bellows.
Yeah, maybe let's hide behind the bellows.
Oh, okay. Occasionally, Oster is kind of like looking up to where he saw or heard that noise coming from, like just to, and then is going to follow the others to hide behind the bellows as well.
Okay.
I have a totally brilliant and amazing plan that could possibly never go wrong.
Of course.
Oster starts to take out the rope.
We could use the rope, but what I was thinking was, this might be very stupid, but I kind of want to see what the blast furnace was making. Maybe it was ore, but what if we trapped that skull in the furnace? Then it can't attack us. But also, is there anything in your book, Aster, about big flaming skull things? Because that doesn't look very nice. I think it would singe my fur quite a lot. Even if I was very mad.
There... I don't know what that is. And there's somebody else here.
Where?
And kind of Oster kind of like turns to where, like, it's that thing, that slow thing where he kind of turns to look up to where he heard the sound coming from.
So you kind of look up and to the north of this chamber as you heard it kind of echoing through or through the chambers up from the northern side.
Do I recognize the voice? Like, did we, like, does it sound like the mushroom motherfucker? Which is the question I have to ask. Okay.
Yeah. 100%. It does. It does. It kind of. It was. It didn't say any words, but there was a frustration, a kind of a frustrated growl.
Okay.
Give me a perception check again, just to see if you kind of reminisce and where you can kind of glean, because it was you heard the sound. Whether you
14.
recognize it. 14. It did have similar tones of haughtiness about it.
Okay.
It was like a haughty growl, a haughty, like oh.
It's the fun guy, but he doesn't. He sounds cross.
Doesn't sound very fun at all. Maybe this big flaming skull thing is nice and won't kill us immediately. Or maybe it won't, and maybe we should just like sneak around it.
We just sneak a little. I turn to look at Ozfire. Are you still greasy, Ozfire?
No, ma'am. I've definitely been majorly degreasified following our travels, and it's been slowly but surely wearing off.
I can help a little bit with that. I can do what I did to me to you, if you need.
That could be possible, please. I mean, if needs be.
Okay. Well, if we are going to sneak, I'm going to turn Ozfire invisible if we do decide to sneak.
Cool.
Where are we sneaking to? Not towards the skull.
Do you know how to use a furnace?
Can probably work it
I'm
out.
an expert.
Oh my god!
Definitely know how to use a furnace. It's so easy. I've watched so many people do it. I did like
a big
class
fire?
where like
A ceramic class.
I was doing like method acting for a role. I was playing the young blacksmith apprentice. I know what I'm doing. 100%.
It's just like a big fire.
How
hard can it be?
Exactly. I know what fire is.
So
It's
unfortunately,
easy.
like Oster does believe that Deceit knows how to use. Like genuinely, it was like, oh well, obviously they studied. Because they're such an accomplished performer, so he does. Without even like, there's no need for like deception he genuinely believes that they know how to use this furnace.
In case anybody's asking, if you wanted me to roll deception, I rolled a 24.
Okay.
So
I didn't know you knew how to do that. That's very good. I mean,
of course I
surely
know
it's
how to
easy
do
to
that.
work out.
Look, I'm a jack of all trades. You know me.
Okay,
So-
what do we do?
Where did you say the voice was coming from? The
We could.
outback
north,
of the
yeah.
north.
Yeah,
North.
the north.
You could
The
go-
north.
Is there an exit that way? Is that the same way as the skull?
So the skull is kind of up. Yeah, it's kind of towards the northerly direction, but the kind of the exit out of this area where the skull is, it's off kind of to the western side. So if we're looking at the map on the stream, where you see on the map, you can see where that actual the burrowed into the ground is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? It's the north, so it's going up. It's going upward.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
the northern side of it is actually going to the left. Sorry, because the map is on the side. So if you follow that kind of to the left of the map, and it goes down in
That's
kind of
where
a
the skull-
yeah. So that's where the skull is kind of on the far side of that trough. It's on the far side of that, and there are the bodies that you see kind of floating. It's floating over those bodies. And it kind of looks like if you were to go in that general direction, you would have to go past, or definitely within the line of sight of the skull there. You're muted, Dottie.
I am. I just literally just clicked it and everything because the dog was barking, and that's to get to Mr. Fun Guy.
To get to where you think the voice came from, yes.
Oh, I have a really stupid idea.
Uh-oh.
Worse than my stupid idea.
Oh, it is worse. So, I can be very convincing. Maybe I just suggest that it let us pass, perhaps?
You're not going to be a sexy skull, are you?
Oh, you devilish fiend, you.
That wasn't a suggestion. It was a worry.
How's your head?
I haven't had any complaints. Flaming.
Spicy.
Oh, definitely good. Now, see,
Try it. It seems like a bad idea, but
you know what? What else are we going to do? Do we just leave, or is there another direction we can go?
There is it kind of goes off in the opposite direction. It goes off then to the east. So if you're looking at the map on the stream, it's kind of moving upwards and around. And then you also have an exit kind of down on the map. You're kind of on the far side of the wheel, the other side of the furnace. You have to go through past the furnace, underneath it, to get out to a doorway that's down that end. You're coming in from on the stream map. You're coming in from the right side, and you're looking kind of down. Yeah. So
the room is kind of in the shape of Texas.
Yeah.
We could just head down, and we could just head that way. And I point to the way that's like south on the map on the stream.
Yeah.
And see what's that way. That way we don't need to go near this creature, and maybe we can think of a plan while we head that way.
You're the leader, so.
Oh yeah, true.
Really?
Oh, that's so true. I am. I
was the leader.
Are you?
Am I? Wait.
Osfar's
the most sensible.
Have you turned Osfar invisible at this point?
Not yet.
No.
I'm not sure if I should.
Osfar is just sitting there going, "We all gonna die. We all gonna die."
We're really good at making decisions. Clearly.
I think we should just attack it.
Is there there's obviously all these bodies and stuff, you know what, the manual says in times of indecision, that's when you decide action, and Oster is gonna grab like a bone or a helmet, anything kind of loose, and he's gonna chuck it in the opposite direction that we want to go, to try and distract the skull.
The bodies are over by so the skull is kind of floating around the bodies. You'd have to go across the froth that the wheel is in to get to where the bodies are, and then the skull is within 15 to 20 feet of those bodies.
So he has a sickle. He's just because he doesn't use. He just has it.
Cool.
It was his nana's. He's gonna chuck that.
Okay.
We're not a sickle.
So
And we'll duck behind the furnace.
it's just got a doily wrapped around the end.
Yeah.
And the sickle just gets hoofed into the darkness, and you hear a ka-ching, ching, 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 and it echoes off. Gung, 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 gung. And as the echoes settle, you all look, and 8 of the bodies sit up. And
I'm so glad I didn't do what I was going to do.
These dwarven warrior zombies kind of like, and like out of the 8 of them, 4 of them kind of start to shamble off in the direction of where the clanking was, where the sickle landed, and the flames go, starts to kind of scan the room.
Oh.
Okay, flame skull, perception. I need everyone to roll. If you're trying to be stealthy here, everyone roll a stealth check for me, please.
Perf. I don't think I would have had time to make our armored friend invisible.
Oh yes.
19.
Okay.
Also 19. No, it's not. Actually,
I just saw Talia.
never mind.
Fill up his face. What did you get?
20.
I'm going to use my guidance, which I haven't used yet.
Okay. Actually, Osfar's got guidance as well.
I got a doity 20.
Oh, has the advantage actually? Okay.
9.
9. So, Oster and the seat, you quickly duck behind part of the outcropping of the furnace. You kind of hide behind it. You feel that you're safely hidden, and you look over then as Ozfire goes to quickly move from the doorway and join you, and he kind of trips as Talia is pulling up her great axe, the kind of the pommel of it. Ozfire trips and clangs on it, and cling, boom, 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 and skids. He rolled a 2. Skids on the ground. Talia then swings up with an exclamation of "ooh" as the blade swings around and kind of clips off the side of the cavern as rocks start to fall, and the flame skull, its eyes kind of flicker up, its blazing red eyes as this arc of like light streams across and beams right in on the 4 of you. With Ozfire lying on his side, Talia standing like this, the 2 of you ducked behind the thing, and you all look at each other in turn. And we snap back to the future inside the tavern. As all of you are leaning over Ozfire's scale-built model of the caverns. And he's like, yeah, what happens next is not pretty. And that's where we're going to leave this week's episode of Random DMs.
I'm so annoyed that I was like, we have to wrap it. We have to wrap it. I was like, can we go for like another 35 minutes? Your guests can wait, Di.
I was thinking the same thing. Do you know what? Do you know what my stupid idea? My stupid idea was to just go out and cast suggestion on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, no, you don't know.
I was gonna be like, how about you just let us go that way and leave us alone? Thank you, bye.
So yeah, that's the end of this week's episode. The group are in deep shit once more. As the flame skull.
I love how you said it's not gonna. This next bit isn't pretty, but if it's to see its turn to DM next time, it is gonna be pretty. It's gonna be beautiful. In fact,
it's gonna be the most gorgeous flame skull in all the land.
Yeah.
It's going to be so pretty and beautiful. You said green flames. It was actually like pink and sparkling.
Yeah. Shall we?
Sponsored by Bard.
Shall we roll for our DM?
Yes.
And a reminder: there's 4 of us. We roll a d4. Wayne is 1, Dahi is 2, I'm 3, and Philippa is 4. If we get a 1 again, Wayne can stay on as the DM or pass, and we roll again. Where's this window? Okay. I'm like someone's grandmother trying to use this bloody thing. Throw.
I love how you fight with a dice roller every time.
It's. Did I do this right?
I don't know, Bessie.
Okay. Did I cock? Is it cocked?
It looks cocked.
Of course I did. Okay.
It's a digital roller.
Wow. How?
It's a 1 again, I think. This time.
Is it?
That's not. Or maybe I've just scaled it badly.
Yeah, that's a 1 again.
Okay, if you don't mind, I don't think it's fair. I'm gonna pass on this one.
That's okay.
And it's just gonna turn into the Wayne DMing show, and that's not what we want.
Okay, I will throw it again. Maybe it's just this. Okay, that's a 3. Oh, that's me. Sorry, I'm so disappointed. Oh, that's 3.
It's cocked again.
Oh, it's not me. I think that's cocked. I think we should throw it again.
How is the person with a digital roller? How is it cocked?
It was just
what surface?
Declan found the way.
Yeah,
Declan found the way.
I broke it. Okay, so I am DMing in 2. That's great. Right after the charity stream.
Yeah.
I've got this, and then that weekend.
Right after whole weekend.
That following weekend, then we've got the secret project.
I will say, at the end of me now doing this, I will give you all one thing: everyone is leveled up. Okay.
Oh my god! I get.
Because I just saw Ben put in the chat, if I do a 3rd one in a row, you get to level up your character. No,
just your
let's
PC.
level up now. Just my piece. Oh, is that a thing?
Lots of things.
No, that's just Ben's just thrown in there.
That's just Ben just thrown in there. No, we're all leveled up. Go for it.
Yeah. I love being the DM and also the player because we can just level us up whenever the fuck we want.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To very, very quickly wrap things up, we are back in 2 weeks' time, so just very early August for the next session. We want to quickly just make mention of a good friend of the show's, The Rook and the Raven. They are makers of some lovely customizable notebooks, whether you are the Dungeon Master, Game Master, because they have other systems than D&D, You can create campaign journals or player notebooks for your characters that are entirely customizable. And if you head on over to their website, therookandtheraven.com/D8 Dungeon, and use the code D8 Dungeon at checkout, you get 15% off your order, and we get a portion of those sales. So it's a dead deal. And I know it's like July, we're over halfway through the year. That big holiday that we all look forward to is looming. I'm talking Halloween, obviously. Yes, yeah, 100%. A time to give gifts to your DMs. Just saying. So do make sure to check them out. And to quickly make mention, next weekend we are running D8 Dungeon Drive. I've just shared the link to our Tiltify there. We've made like over €160 or dollars so far of our goal. So we're almost 10% to the goal.
Nice.
Which is great. So we are aiming to raise funds for Trans Lifeline, and the link is in chat if you want to check out their work and what they do. There are 2 solid days of tabletop games with GMs and dungeon masters from all over the world, players from all over the world coming together to play games for charity. There will be some very familiar random DM faces over the weekend. They're running stuff.
Not me. I'm not here.
On Friday of next week, so the 28th, Dahi and I and some friends of ours are running a special random DMs one-shot called 10 Simple Rules for Overthrowing a Kingdom. Again. And it... I was supposed to put my notes in the folder today, but I didn't get a chance. I will do it first thing tomorrow.
Same.
Yeah, I also don't want to read anyone's notes. I don't want to know what everyone's planned, because we want this to be kind of an improv, completely like, how good are you at like riffing? And there's loads of ways to get involved because we want this to be chaotic. There's wild magic donations. Nice. There's advantage and disadvantage. There's even
change the DM.
You can change the DM instantly. Like you can literally mid-battle, mid-scene change the DM. You can even pick your DM if you don't want to leave it to random. If you're like, you know what? Dahi hasn't DM'd in a while. Bam, here's a donation. Dahi now has to DM.
Nice.
Or if you want to take a certain DM out who might need a break, might just need a break, might just want to sit it out.
Take him out where?
Just take him out. Just take him out permanently.
Take him out like with a sniper, or for dinner, or
both. Sniper.
Put them out of their misery. You know.
There's even up to $100 donation. Gives the DM a rest, for the rest of the session. So, $400, and I could find myself having to do the whole thing, and then run the event over the 2 days with Amber. I will drive poor Amber insane. That is it from us for 2 weeks. There's a brand new episode coming out on Friday, the 28th of July, of Romancing the Dungeon. Do check it out. It is the result of our last charity stream, where we participated in a one-shot that raised... In 3 hours, we raised... Oh my god, I'm going to be getting an ass tattoo. I just realised, last time we did a charity stream, we raised... in 3 hours, we raised €1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this only sinking in with you now? Like the rest of us?
Literally...
I was well aware. I was literally on a bus home watching that, and the numbers just go up. I was just like... This weekend is going to be great, because Declan and Amber are going to get ass tattoos.
I actually have tears in my eyes. I'm not joking. That just hit me. I think I'm as dumb as Oster.
Now the question is, can you get? And I don't know if Twitch allow this at all, because Twitch have got rules. But can you live stream the tattooing?
Lower back's not butt.
Yeah, we did one. I look. Jesus.
That sounds like a lawyer has told you that once before, Philippa. That sounds like a lawyer told you that once before. Lower back's not butt.
I will talk to Amber about it. We will see what we can do. But do hopefully drop in and check it out. If you can donate, please donate. The link is there in chat. And a big thank you to Wayne for DMing this session and the session previous. And a big fuck you to Wayne for passing that dice. And to Dahi and Philippa for our just for being fabulous players. Yeah. We will see you all in. We will see you next weekend. You're not even getting a chance. You just have to come now. We will see you next weekend.
Yeah.
You have to be there.
And mind yourselves. Take
Be there
care.
or be square. Or
Yeah,
both.
big time.